Hey everyone, welcome to the round of 8 here of the KSL Summer Slam, and in the bottom left, in the blue, probably the best Protoss player in Korea. That much is for certain. For Dragon Cuts the Gaming, it's herO. And the second best Terran is Cure. And I know I say second best Terran. That is a thing, right? But I mean, he's behind Maru. That's kind of hard to say anything about. And on top of that, not only is like, okay, well, you know, you're only really behind the winningest Terran, at least GSL winningest Terran of all time. On top of that, I would argue that Cure's TVP is, you know what, let's fix this 1 second. There we go. I would argue that Cure's TVP is the best in the world. At least the very best in Korea. Maybe herO Marine has something to say about that, but that is a very specific timing where herO Marine, 7 to 10 minutes. He's very, very good. He has these timing pushes, but in general, I mean, Cure's understanding of this matchup, his understanding of how to play, how to abuse everything that's possible is really nice. Is again probably the best in the world there. So we have Cure. That's what Cure's been doing. On the flip side, herO is this player that pretty much ever since he won his GSL last year against Maru, of course, it was a great finals. But ever since he beat Maru in that GSL last year, he has talked about how he doesn't feel super confident in his TVP. About how in his PvT, about how there's just some comprehension gap that he seems to be missing. So all of a sudden here's, oh, SCV gets slow, but Reaper's gonna get the probe, so well, that's gonna be that. There just, again, seems to be some sort of comprehension issue that that herO misses, where he's not totally sure how he wants to play. He's not totally sure kind of the best way to play, and as such, he's lacking some style. And I don't mean style in certain terms of, wow, he just isn't, his clothing doesn't look nice. You know, herO is a rather stylish player, but more that there's not something that overarchingly defines how he wants to play. You talk about max pack, you talk about how 8 out of 10 games he's going to go for a 4-gate blink, and that's great. Okay, fine, but that's max packs. Or we talk about Showtime, and he's probably going to open Stargate a little bit more. He's going to play defensively off that. Okay, fine, that's Showtime. The only thing we can say about herO, for the most part, is that he will be aggressive. He has this, as he termed it, this sickness of aggression that he really doesn't know a cure for, that tells him that pretty much given the option between winning the game, say backing up, getting an extra base because you're ahead and, you know, getting yourself up to 99%, or going right now on a 65% chance to win because, well, you did all this economic damage, but it hasn't really shown itself in supply yet. herO will, more often than not, he will take the latter. He will get that aggressive, and that is not, I mean, he wins games, but he also very much does lose games. It's not this Adept should go down with the Hellions and the Marines. Actually, no, it's going to get out. Never mind. So Adept gets out with his life, takes some damage, but that's going to be fine. Meanwhile, Reaper thinks about going into the main, but there's a Stalker there, so this is going to be a one-way ticket into the main. But it's a scout. Sees that, yeah, you know what, there's a chrono on the Twilight. That's actually a really solid scout there. Sees additional gateways going down, although I believe, you know, that is an additional gateway, so natural, can assume that there's a wall there. So Cure's gonna have his first inklings. Actually, did he see the front wall? No, he hasn't, but Cure should have his first inklings now about what herO's doing. And we talked about, oh, herO doesn't really have a solid style, a standard way that he's gonna look to play. Well, he's playing like max packs, right, in this game number 1 here on Ancient Cistern, and that makes sense. I mean, Ancient Cistern is a wide open main, but he's gonna go 4-gate blink. He's gonna try to get that aggression going early. Meanwhile, Cure, for his part, this is very standard. He's got a 1-1-1. He's got tanks on the way. The one thing that we do have to take into account here is that he is reactored out of his barracks. Right, there is no tech lab on the barracks. We don't have a second, third barracks going down right now. This is, I mean, here's a Widowmine drop off of it. It's very nice, but the timing that Cure may be looking to eventually have, where he has, you know, a lot more barracks production and stim because stim is really the eventual cessation of aggression here. As Widowmines are going to go down. Slow late pull for herO, but it's going to be fine. One probe goes down. Second Widowmine unburrows, looks for the reburrow, and oh yeah, okay, herO's going to pull back, not really going to fall victim. He's going to lose 2 probes, a little awkward there. 3 in total for 2, but not the end of the world, especially as herO wants to get aggressive right here, right now. That is a lot of stalkers, and yes, the drop can happen once again. SCVs are going to be pre-pulled here, but they're not repairing. They're just too late. And yeah, step 1, pre-pull, fine. Step 2, though, you actually have to repair. So 5 SCVs will go down, and that damage that happened earlier doesn't really matter. No, stalkers have to be careful because there are 2 tanks on the high ground. But even still, 7 SCVs have gone down here at the start. The bunker is dead. And now look at this single adept looking for the scout, wants to see what's going to happen, thinking about drawing friendly fire on top of the Marines. Blinks on top, tank on the low ground will fall. And yeah, a stalker has fallen down here, but the Marines, they're just dying. And herO's going to back up once again, waits for this cooldowns, waits for another warp into stalkers. Meanwhile, on the other side, well, drop's ready, but it's not just here just yet. Oh, auto turret falls, but really no value there. herO wants another blink. herO wants to go kill more tanks or maybe attack from a different angle. So 1 stalker leading the fray here will blink out most of the shots. 1 tank goes down very quickly, and herO multiple blinks to his name, gets the Raven as well. But the Widowmine into the main base here. That's what we were talking about. 12 probes go down, and this damage, all the value that herO got, well, he needs more now. Blinks on top of the tank once again. Marines are firing, and again, there's no stim. Stim's not even on the way here. There's no timing, there's no opportunity that Cure is looking for to make sure that he can survive into this game. He just needs to kill the stalkers with these unstimmed Marines. And again, remember, it's only there are 3 barracks, but again, nothing's being made out of those tech labs. I mean, Marauders, I guess, but no stim, no combat shields, no concussive shells, and now the natural is starting to burn down here. Now here has to retreat back to the main, and yes, 14 SCVs have died. herO's lost 12 probes, but again, the damage there, it doesn't really seem like it's mattering. And now another Widowmine is going to go off. This is going to get like 4 probes. Again, valuable, sure, but now again a tank goes down on the high ground. Marines just don't feel like there are enough of them anymore here. I guess Marauder's doing something, but there are 2 blinks here for herO. He's got the Warp Prism, and he's got his blink as well. Another stalker now blinks up on the high ground once again. Tanks will fall. The army of Cure going down. There's nothing in the natural anymore, even if Cure was able to secure it. 1 Marauder, 1 Marine, not enough. And herO, blink stalker micro, makes it so there's no room for Cure to find his way back into it. No stim, no combat shields, just tanks and a Widowmine, a dream. That didn't matter. herO, he takes game 1. And now into game number 2 here in the upper left, in the blue, up 1 game off masterful blink stalker Warp Prism micro. His name is herO. And at the bottom right, in the red, down a game, it's Cure. And of course, as we get here into the second game of this series, I would like to remind you all that if you want awesome games from herO, from herO, from Bjorn, from Maru, from Rainer, from all of these top names, well, you should hit that sub button below this video, because 5, 6, 7 days out of the week, there will be games from these players. Awesome series, best of 3s, best of 5s, best of 7s. So again, make sure to hit that sub button, like this video, because it's a pretty awesome series. And let me know what herO needs to do, because yeah, he won game number 1, but again, we were talking about this. How do you curtail that killer instinct that, in the case of herO, is maybe just too killer? That is really the problem. And of course, if you want to catch me live, I stream somewhat consistently on twitch.tv/Beomulf as well. 8 p.m.s, some days out of the week. It kind of varies week by week as I'm busy. But for now, this probe has to be very careful. So yeah, twitch.tv/Beomulf, sub to the video. That's the last I'm gonna say about it here, because we're getting into game number 2. And Cure, it's a Reaper expand, but he is building that natural on the low ground. He's not super worried about a max packs build or a classic build or something. It's gonna be fine. What does herO do here? That's the question. We can assume that Kira is going to go for some sort of 1-1-1 into a 3-1-1, get his stim done sometime between 6 and 7:30, run across the map, +1 stim combat shield timings, take a third at some point. I mean, there are shades to how that gameplay, that idea plays out, but it's kind of all the same bones. It's all gray, but it's they're just 50 shades of it. herO though, he's playing with a different palette. He's got a gray and he's got a red, he's got a blue, and in this case, we're gonna see a rather quick robo off of a single gateway. So herO has a couple ways he can go about this. In that we've seen herO go before and really he effectively do a gateway drop. He'll get a couple gateways and he will just build stalkers or adepts or something, stalkers and adepts, put them in a warp prism, try to put it. Oh, look at this block here on the probe. Yeah, he's gonna get the Reaper. Last shot goes down. What a play, herO. What an absolute Chad move on the wall there. Just pulls the probe, make sure the Reaper can't run in, and denies the scout. But anyway, did Kier see the robo? Yeah, the robo. Okay, that was exposed. But anyway, warp prism now on the way. We've got one gateway, second one on the way here, and hero's just gonna look to drop units in mineral lines. That's kind of how this wants to go. But behind this, he's going to expand. He's gonna do something else. But again, this is kind of this weird middle of the road. It hits faster than a Terran's expecting. It's not that greedy. Again, it's only 2 gateways. And then if you do it right as herO, you can certainly find a lot of value here. So now 3 adepts, thinking about shading in, but 2 Hellions, 5 Marines, couple more on the way. Not quite worth it. But you add a couple more stalkers on top. I believe, what are we at? 3 stalkers, 3 adepts on the map. Warp prism here across. And now adepts thinking about shading into the natural. Once again, not ready just yet, though. There's the warp prism, though. And this is where they're going to go into the main base. Now, the medevac sees this. And that is something. And the Hellions on the other side, they're really just not in position anyway. So, actually, the wall is going to stay up here. Oh, okay, that's actually really cool. So, Bjorn raises the wall because he has the medevac. He can find his way. He can put things back into the main easily, but he doesn't want the adepts to shade into the natural. Meanwhile, Hellions on the other side. That's a juicy shot. 2 probes are going to go down anymore. Make it 3. So, 3 probes for 2. Maybe a little overhyped. herO loses 3 probes. He gets 2 SCVs. Kind of bog standard middle of the road. What's not middle of the road, though, is the quick Templar archives. Here's now adepts into the main base trying to find more. They're going to get a couple more SCVs. There we go. But anyway, Immortal's on the way fine, but this is Charge and Templar archives. This is going to be Charge Lot Storm off of 2 bases for herO. He's got additional gateways here. He's not getting a third. This is, well, I was going to say prepping for Kier's aggression, but Kier, his second and third gate or barracks are only just getting added in right now. He's going for that delayed timing. So this is actually just rampant, unfettered aggression, unchecked aggression coming out of Kier here. I like that idea, by the way, from herO. He thought about shading in and just immediately picking up the warp prism after the adepts take their shield damage and maybe getting something. But the Viking there just meant that was not possible, as the recall there keeps the warp prism alive. And there we go. Storm on the way. Charge on the way here. Pressure on the other side is only 3 stalkers. Warp prism gets targeted down immediately. These High Templar, they're useful, kind of, right? You feed back the medevac, and that's something. But it's a scout now. Kier knows what herO is going for. And that means Kier's just going to stay at home. Build that wall into the natural, get tanks up, get +1 stim, all these wonderful things. But just play defensively. Don't move out on the map there. The storm and the charge is going to be more than enough to deal with that. Stay at home, get your third base, be happy, be healthy, be moisturized, be thriving. That's, of course, how we're just going to have to see this happen. Now, drop on the left side. This is the same drop from earlier, by the way, that got fed back and really got fed up with the situation. But now it's going to be maybe in a little bit better position. Now, the Warp Prism ready once again, but this means it's only single Immortal, not a second one. Now that has to be made, which is a bit awkward. But herO actually, I think, has also started to realize that, you know what, I've been figured out here. Maybe I should just take the third. He's not probing yet, but he does have that third base on the way. Meanwhile, Warp Prism drop, Storm drop. moving across the map here, trying to find that value from earlier, and there will be no shutdown. herO's got the Raven. He's going to have to deal with the Raven on the other side, but he's also aware of that. And let's see. herO, are you going to try to time this out with a Terran move out? Or are you going to move in? Because right now, the Warp Prism is, it's a Sunday breakfast. It's waffling. Although, I don't know. Generally, if I'm doing something like that, I'm going to make pancakes. I'm going to make French toast. I'm not necessarily going to make waffles. But that's personal preference. Anyway, also, I don't have a waffle maker. So it goes. But anyway, Warp Prism on the map once again. It just... herO's not sure what to do with it. He's waiting for this timing, but again, it does seem like Cure is somewhat aware of this possibility, of this Charged Lot Archon Storm timing that herO's actually been playing with quite a bit recently. And that means he's, again, not going to move out. He's got his third base ready. Now, this is, of course, the timing that herO can look to take advantage of as the Terran looks to move onto the map, take that third base. But for now, an attempted drop feedback does really nothing. Wouldn't mind on the high ground here, but there's really not a lot of probes. So herO, he's got a clock on him. I mean, yes, he is building probes 3 at a time right now, but he's down 11 workers, down 13 now. His economy is slow. He delayed that. His third base didn't get started for quite a while, and okay, I guess, yeah, herO just lost a Warp Prism with 2 storm, actually probably with 4 storms inside of it, 2 High Templar inside of it here. herO's kind of dead, and I hate to say that because nothing's really happened in this game, but he's lost 2 High Templar, he's lost his Warp Prism. There's no way he cracks this. Now, Warp Prism or Medivacs go down. Probes. Oh, no, it's going to be 4 more. herO's just not handling this appropriately. And look at this. Look at this defensive situation. There are 3 ghosts. There are 4. There are like 3 or 4 Widow Mines in the natural behind a wall. There's a tank on the high ground. The way herO has to play this now is, first of all, he needs another Warp Prism, but he needs to just take a 5th. Like, to allow his opponent to move out there. Maybe this is the time he can take the fight, but with Ghost out, Snipe down, gets a High Templar. There's just no way. Cure's up an army supply. He's up significant numbers of workers. He's up 8 workers, 7 workers, whatever the number is. I mean, don't do math on camera, but he's up in workers. He's up in army supply. He's up in tech. He's up in upgrades. There's nothing that herO's up in. I mean, maybe he can raise his spirits a little bit, but herO's in a bad spot. Now feedback on the other side. I mean, herO, you can storm this. Storm would probably kill it all, but now the shield battery goes down. Probes will fall here, and in the middle of the map, Cure's gonna scan out everything. These zoning storms don't do anything at all. And this is just one of those games where one player has the solid read about how the game is going to get played and just plays that game, whereas the other doesn't. And herO doesn't really seem to have figured out how the game's going to get played. He's just off. He's been trying to play into this style, and now he's down in army supply, down in tech. He doesn't have an army that can fight really at all here. So this significant ghost count that Cure has, disruptors are now starting to hit the fray. That's kind of the first step of building something that herO can actually use. But now the Widow Mines, they're going to siege themselves up, and 2 of them will fall again. Good shot there on the disruptor. Third will fall here as well, but here come the ghost, big EMPs, and this is just going to be the trigger, the timing to run right in. Shield battery overcharge gets popped. 1 disruptor is not going to be enough here. Now reinforcements now here from the backside. Storms are going to be really nice, actually. Wait a minute here. herO, that's a great fight, but it's not going to be enough at all. The bio's going to stem forward. Another storm drops here, but it's just, again, not enough. herO had, again, the best possible fight he possibly could. But this all goes back down to 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, where herO committed to this timing, and Cure scouted it out, realized what was happening, and just decided to stay at home. Didn't give herO the timing that he wanted, and now 88 army supply to 17. Probes are going to get pulled. Maybe there's not even going to be another storm. Raven from the backside, more than enough. And now, well, probes are getting 2-shot by the ghosts. Good luck, herO. Try again, game number 3, because this game too, It's not going to happen, even with that storm. Because the storm delayed is a storm denied. And herO falls. Cure takes game 2. And now into game number 3 here, in what is effectively a best of 3 at this point in this best of 5. In the upper right, tied up here in the blue, it's herO. And in the bottom left, in the red. Give it up. It's Cure. Not sure what happened with my script that does the intro and does whatever. It just decided to cancel itself. I don't know. We're gonna have to start that again after this game. Something. Regardless, we're looking at game number 3 here. Game 1, we saw herO go, and he did 4-gate blink. His opponent went for a Widowmine drop and got tremendous value, but not enough, and Cure never started stim. I don't know whether that was he actually just didn't have the money for it, or just really didn't have the APM, the attention span for it, but herO did a great job of putting on pressure. His blinks and the Warp Prism, that secondary blink, was really good. And then that meant that Cure just died. Wasn't able to hold on. And, well, after that point, yeah, herO took game number 1. Now, game 2, herO did something different. He thought he had something fun on the way. He went for Charge Lot Storm off of a gate, off a robo opening with the Warp Prism, and didn't find value, and then didn't find value with the Storms. In fact, he lost 2 High Templar. He lost 2 High Templar and the Warp Prism off a Widowmine and I guess bunker damage. And then he tried to break a Terran that was never going to get broken. And then he died. Straight up. So we're going to have to see now whether this is going to work out better in this game number 3. Whether what herO has in store for us, what Cure wants to do defensively. Again, we talked about how the bones are going to be pretty similar across every game that Cure plays, unless he decides to proxy or something. It's going to be barracks, command center, factory. Maybe he gets, maybe, you know, there's a world actually where he goes like barracks, double gas, command center, barracks, double gas, factory, command center. We do see Terrans do that occasionally, but in general, right? 6 to 7:30 on the stim, 6 to 7:30 on starting the command. Again, that kind of 2 or 3 base bio push. But for this game number 3, we see something a little bit more standard out of herO. It's still a fast Twilight, but we're not seeing that early robo idea. The other thing that I think is interesting, and it really shouldn't come as any surprise, is you know, we talked about in game 1 about how herO doesn't really have an identity in terms of outside of just, you know, unfettered aggression. But the one thing that we can say is that in this matchup, he doesn't play a lot. He doesn't play a ton of Stargate play. It really does tend to be this gateway style. So shouldn't be too surprising that we're 3 games in. Again, there still has not been a Stargate opener. So for now, the Zealot, as heroes want to do, building that early, gets a couple of depths across the map as well. Just deny some mining. Maybe gets a Marine if his opponent isn't paying attention. But behind this, 2 additional gateways on the way. It's not 3 gate. It's a depth now. Get a little bit more damage, but shade out. It's not a 4 gate. Right, just 2 more additional gateways on the way. On top of this, there is no robo. So this is kind of a more middle of the road type of build out of herO. As I say that though, there's a gateway here on the left side, and this might actually turn into a 4 gate after all. herO, are you gonna drop the gateway? Well, for now he's not, but there is a little bit of pressure on the map here from herO as the Zealot will finally fall, or from Cure actually, but he can't really commit to this too hard. Okay, herO, I was asking about a gateway, you know, like, okay, maybe herO goes for the 4 gate, but who am I fooling? herO, he loves this. He loves going the double gold base here on Royal Blood. This time he's doing it a little different. Oftentimes he'll take his natural as the gold, but this time he's just taking the gold behind the mineral line, because if you go for this, you don't really care about the gas mining off your 3rd as much. You're gonna go charge lots, and again, that's fine. You're okay with missing out on literally 1 gas. It's not like you're missing out on 2. So we're gonna have to see how herO makes this work. For now, Blink is done defensively. We should see charge on the way. Actually, he has the gas for now, but not quite there just yet. Reapers at the front, Hellions as well. One will fall. Second Reaper goes down. Adept stays alive, but it's just dropping the main base. That I'm afraid of. We got 6 Stalkers. Actually, I guess they're mostly in the main, so I shouldn't be as afraid of this drop as I am. And herO is being... So, I don't know if all of you growing up were ever... They had the Dragonologist field guide or whatever it was. They had the Egyptologist and whatever. Well, they had one that was like a field guide to witchcraft or something. Witchcraft and wizardry. Maybe that's a Harry Potter thing. But anyway, this book was awesome. It had like you may build your own wand, where it's like a wooden wand that you could put your own core in and just put junk in. And as an imaginative kid, it was awesome. But one of the things that that book talked about was standard familiar names, and apparently one of the standard familiar names is Grizzled Greedy Guts, specifically for if you have your familiar is a goat. And well, I'm not gonna say that herO is a goat. That's probably Cyril or Maru. There's an argument to be made that he might be the Protoss goat. No, that's probably Zest. But anyway, herO is being Grizzled Greedy Guts in this game. He's got 4 bases on the way before 7 minutes. He's got the gold base fully mining. Now, there is an auto turret, and probes are going to get pulled. I mean, shield batteries, actually, they're locked in. There's nowhere for them to go. That's a great auto turret positioning right there, but still, shield battery says only 3 will go down. That being said, herO has been found out now, and he has to deputize units over to the left side to deal with this. He's got like 1 stalker that warped in at something, but he's got his 4th base up, and now storm drops on the way once again. Now, herO does have, there's something he's got to do, and that is be aggressive. Because realistically, if he allows Cure to take the map, if he allows Cure to do anything but stay at home, this base will get punished. This setup will get punished. But for now, 7 Marines dropping into the main base here. Still done. Combat shields done in 5 seconds. Stalkers have to get warped in. 6 probes are going to go down, but it matters less because, again, herO's on 4 bases. He has the gold, but he still can't afford to lose too much here. Going down 14 probes. He's going to lose like the entire mineral line to this singular drop. 16 probes go down, and on the left side, here comes Cure. And this base, the army's not there just yet, but Storm is ready, and maybe that's going to have to be something. Now, we're going to have a recall here on the left side. It's an awkward recall. It's like 5 units here, but the Zealots are going to find their way, and we need the Storms. They're not going to land all that well, actually. The pre-splits coming out of herO or coming out of Cure are just massive, and herO's dead. He tried to do the fun thing on the greediest hell type of build, but this base will fall. 28 probes have died, and the army's there. herO got greedy. Cure just got good, and Cure takes game number 3 here. He goes up 2-1. In the upper left here now, back against the ropes in the blue. Give it up. It's herO. And the bottom right in the red. 1 game away from the round of 4 here in the KSL Summer Slam. It's Cure. And as we find our way into perhaps the last game of this series, I talked about, yeah, you should sub to this channel, whatever. The other thing that we do have to bring up is that this tournament is entirely community funded. Chicken Man, Dave Testa have done a great job running, I want to say it's like 20 KSL weeklies at this point, as a response there to the GSL cutting funding. And then this big $4,500, $5,000 tournament is a result of how awesome the Patreon has been. But just because the Patreon has been awesome doesn't mean the Patreon will continue to be awesome. So if you want more awesome Korean StarCraft like this, if you want these weeklies to continue, if you want there to be another, maybe a KSL Winter Slam, Winter Wonderland, I don't know, whatever they decide to do, you should go and fund the Patreon, because again, they do fantastic work here. We have awesome games every single week, even if I haven't been able to cover every single one. So if you want to contribute, link is in the description down below. It will be the first thing you see if you scroll down, because this is important, and well, it's awesome. So make sure to do me a favor, go and even just go on the lowest tier. It does help quite a bit here, at the very least, to make sure that they can continue to give out $1,600 a month to the Korean players week after week to try to do just one more group of people, one more thing to keep that scene alive. So go do that. Is now we're looking at game number 4 here again. This is a game where Cure wins this right now. He wins the series. He moves on to the round of 4. And while that wouldn't be the biggest surprise to anyone, I don't think, again, this is Cure that has probably the world's best TVP, second best Terran overall. Again, it wouldn't surprise anyone, but herO shown some slice of life, but we're also seeing how lost herO looks in the matchup. I mean, he went for third base gold, fourth base regular on Royal Blood, and it just, you know, he gets pushed and died. We're seeing him do a lot of experimental things, and it's just not working. So, herO doing something, I know I said this last game and I lied, but herO's doing something a little bit more standard here. In this game number 4 here, back against the wall. Nothing experimental, nothing avant-garde. He's not opening up an art studio in downtown Manhattan that is somehow affording the rent. Well, he's got literally 5 paintings and, you know, there's no money laundering here whatsoever. At all. This is standard. This is, very normal out of herO. Again, 2 additional gateways, Robo on the way. Does he drop a 3rd gateway? Does he just go do it? Does he just do what worked once again? I mean, game 1, herO's got great micro. We saw the Blink Stalker Warp Prism idea. We saw it work great. He won the game off the 4 gate, and then, well, game 2, we saw the Storm drops, and he loses a Warp Prism with 2 High Templar in it. That's not going to work. Game 3, he went too greedy, got punished, but go back to what works. Game 1, 4 gate Blink was great. But this game seems like it might be a little bit more middle of the road. We will see 3 gateways. We should see the 3rd base get started rather soon. Probes, in fact, already patrolling there. So maybe some pressure. Maybe there's a Warp Prism, but probably not. And herO, again, he's just going to get himself into the mid game pretty nicely here. So for now, Stalkers blink onto the main base. They're just gonna kill. Oh no, they're not. And oh, the splits aren't good either. 3 probes go down for the single Widowmine. Bit of miss micro there. Miss targeting coming out of herO. He could have gotten the Widowmine. Instead, he tried to get the medevac, backs up, doesn't get either. He gets the Widowmine eventually, but not before 5 probes go down. 3 to the Widowmine, 2 to the Hellion, and an immediate Templar Archives here. I don't know whether this is a result of herO's damage that he's taken. He doesn't feel like he can get into Colossus play, or just that he likes High Templar, he likes Storms, but you're gonna have to do magic with this, because again, his 3rd base is very late. This is not 2 base Colossus that sometimes works out. No, I feel like if you're playing High Templar like this, you do need that 3rd base much quicker, because you're playing a less cost-effective style. But herO, 3rd base, just late. So Storm now about halfway done. The Warp Prism is done here. If herO can actually not lose the Warp Prism, that's going to be the big play. If he can get 2 High Templar into a mineral line, drop Storms, get 10 SCVs, I think he's going to be okay. But for right now, again, his economy is not incredibly inspiring. His third base only just now completed. Now there's another world, right, where this High Templar, this Storm idea works out really well. And that's with this move out of here. If the War Prism's able to find its way onto the other side, it can storm every single Marine here. There's one medevac. This army will, if not die, will be absolutely neutered. So where is our War Prism? That's the big question. Actually, High Templar just hiding on the high ground here. Here comes herO. Does he see it? He doesn't. Not yet. But he should be aware of this very quickly. He sees the army, storms on him. Only 1 second one goes down now. Split's actually pretty good from herO. And it's going to be the Warp Prism down. 2 High Templar dead. But at the very least, he got some amount of the army. But there needs to be more. There desperately needs to be more here. Cure boosting the high ground. Double the army supply. herO, we need to see another storm. It just whiffs. That storm gets nothing. And now the drop into the main base here, it's going to have to be a recall. High Templar goes down, gets sniped. This is a problem. This is a massive problem for herO right now. Yeah, the Stalkers on the high ground with Storm and Blink are good. Well, High Templar don't have Storm, but they have auxiliary forces. hero's down 30 army supply. His economy is not that much better than the Terrans. Now, reinforcements? You gotta be careful. But Cure, his third base just about done, but the important thing here, he's only down about 10 workers. Mules make up for that. Army supply and trades make up for that. And Zealots just run in. They die to Widow Mines here. No charge, not just yet. Cure can hold this position for as long as he would like. Meanwhile, in the natural, I mean, auto turrets find more value here. Stalkers, they can only blink so much. There's no shield battery in the main base. Stalkers are just falling. And yeah, you know, Bio are trading out just a little bit. They will have to run away, but back to the tank line where Stalkers are taking more damage. Yes, the medevac went down, but now into the third base here. Cure continues to absolutely swarm. Now, for the moment, probes won't go down, and that storm is going to be decent, I guess, but due to the hot drop, the way it worked, I mean, really didn't get all that much. 4 probes go down. Army supplies, or excuse me, worker supplies, now equal. Resources lost about 1,000 in Cure's favor. So herO opens with a storm drop. He does some damage to that army, but for the most part, it just didn't really work out. Now, herO does find some value here. This Immortal, the Stalkers, will clean up the last of this drop, and that's something. Meanwhile, Stalkers on the other side, army supplies are starting to equalize a little bit. There is a Warp Prism here, and that third base is going to get shoved off. And remember, about half the army supply of Cure is on the other side of the map. herO is just going all in. He's going for a base trade right now. So now Pylon, single one, gets depowered there. That's a little bit less warp in potential. But herO in the natural, those storms on the Widow Mines, well, they're not going to prevent the Widow Mines from going off. But herO, he is now into the natural here. There's storm potential here. Zealots on the Stalkers, Zealots on the SCVs. This is a full base trade now coming in from herO. herO has 3 bases. The Terran has 2. The storms are starting to get really, really nice, but you need storms on the bio here from herO. That's what's important. So now the natural has been broken. The orbital has been broken here, but the Nexus in the main base, that's still a problem. EMP is on this army. Do we have any storms? We do. The army gets oh so very low. But now the Widow Mine on the high ground is scary. herO can't blink on top of that one. There's a Colossus on the way. 42 probes, 42 SCVs have gone down. There are still probes. There's still an economy here out of herO. I feel like he's just gonna have to recall. Probes are gonna have to get pulled. Colossus is gonna pop out with the recall timing right now, and this will get the rest of the army. Yes, the Colossus has died. Yeah, oh, no, it didn't. I'm sorry. The Warp Prism kept it alive, and now herO on the other side here. He still has some semblance of an economy. He still has 2 bases. Cure technically has 2, I guess, but he's only mining off of 1, and it's a base that doesn't really have much of anything here. herO's down 4 army supply, but he's got a better one. He's got Colossus. He's got Immortals. He's got Stalkers. He still has those High Templar. But I guess he's going to back up for the moment. A little pressure with the Stalkers, fine, but he's going to back up, consolidate himself just a little bit, maybe. Get another round of High Templar. Is High Templar? No, it's not gonna kill. It's not gonna kill the Widow Mine. That would have been fun. The Widow Mine drop tries to do something here. Stalkers trying to get on top, a little bit more damage, but not gonna find it. And now Cure just desperately trying to buy time. He needs to find some opportunity. He needs to find some way to make sure that this army out of herO does not find his way onto the other side of the map. And I mean, Widowmine shows up, it's something. But that Widowmine doesn't find much value. And now, here comes the army of herO. He's got 2 Colossus. Yeah, 2 Colossus, a Warp Prism. He's got a High Templar here, and now steamrolling up the ramp. Anything, EMPs are going to blanket the army, and it's a nice setup here, but the storms, that second round of splash are fantastic, and pay attention to that Colossus. It's not going to go down, not with the Warp Prism as it stands. We're going to see this Widowmine fall here as well, and yeah, another Widowmine drop that hero is going to have to defend, but at this point, it doesn't feel like it matters. 9 probes hit the deck, but it's this army at the front of things that really and truly does matter here. The Colossus, single one now. Second one died at some point, but SCVs are going to get pulled once again for every damage. Every little bit of damage that herO takes, he returns in spades, and now the Colossus staying alive. Look at the Micro on the Warp Prism, dodging everything he can. The Stalkers, they're gonna blink on top of everything. And this army of Cure, he's actually, wait a minute, he's up double the army supply. It's all down to the Warp Prism. It's all down to the Micro of the Colossus, and he's doing it. herO is just masterful here. And yeah, he continues to take some economic damage with this single Colossus. Not a lot of shields, but it's untouchable. There's nothing that Cure can do against this Colossus. Big Daddy Warwalker's just gonna sit in the natural. And again, what you gonna do here, Cure? You have army supply in the good, but it's not giving enough. Carpet bombing. herO saves once again, microing away. It's all he's gotta do. Cure dies. herO kills him. And now we move into game number 5. Incredible micro coming at him, herO. And now one final game for all the marbles in the upper right, in the blue. Give it up for Dragon Kites of Gaming, herO. And on the bottom left, in the red, it's Cure. And as we find our way here in this game number 5, herO's got to be smiling a little bit. Altitude is a very good Protoss map. We're going to get there eventually. It's long. It's got a bunch of high grounds that you can kind of play with Colossus in. But herO's kind of shown us that he doesn't like that robo style. I mean, we saw him playing it a lot when Colossus had +1 range on extended thermal lance because it was a bug, but in general, herO recently, he's been playing this this High Templar style, and honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, you know, he won game number 4, but it wasn't easy, and he was down quite a bit of time. So instead, I mean, I'd love to see something a little bit more standard from herO in this game, but we're not going to see that. I mean, he does go Gate Cyber into Nexus, which is maybe a bit surprising, just considering the fact that this is Altitude and he's got the full scout. He knows exactly what Cure is doing. He could have gotten away with just Gate Nexus into that Cyber, but maybe he wants to, again, this is herO. He's going to want to get aggressive. We're going to have to see what variant, what flavor of aggression he goes for, but regardless, you know, he does a good job of delaying the natural a little bit, and by going Gate Cyber into Nexus, it does mean he does get his adepts out a little faster, but given how long Altitude is, I don't know that this adept is going to get out in time to delay the natural, which would be maybe the play that hero's looking for. Well, actually, maybe. But this timing from Cure is interesting. This is a very fast. I mean, this is a stupid fast evac, as he adds a second barracks as well. So this is going to be a 3-racks play. This is going to be 3-racks stim timing, +1 stim combat shields, hitting right around that 5-minute mark. And now the question is whether herO is going to be prepared for that. Now the adept finds its way onto the other side, and it, again, despite how long this was delayed, yeah, he's not going to be able. SCVs have already been pulled onto the low ground. This command center will complete. And actually, Marines on the low ground here as well. The Adept has to get out. And for now, doing a good job of dodging things. But is it going to get out? Yeah, just barely. A +1 now. About halfway done. Tech Lab only just now getting started, though. So there's no way this is this has got to be a stim timing. But I'm not sure this times out properly. I mean, there's a world where this is a combat shield timing, but we really, yeah, there's the stim. I was gonna say we really don't see that against Protoss all that much, but it does feel like stim is a little bit slow to time out with +1. What I do know is that herO has scouted this. He saw the eBay, he saw that it's working, he saw the stim going. He sees that it's 2 Rex, so he should have an understanding. He gets so much scouting out of that. He gets so much vision out of that one hallucinated Phoenix. By the way, 2 routes, 2 paths, 2 circuits through the main. Okay. So herO is, it does seem like herO is willing to play defensively here in this 5th and final game. Blink about halfway done, but or 2/3 of the way done, 3/4. But most importantly here, quick forge, very quick forge actually. And it's going to be the Roboban. So this feels like 2 base Colossus. Getting a quick +1 on your Colossus is really nice. Bonus damage, of course, scales or attack upgrades scale really well with 2 different types of units. They scale with, say, Marines, units that attack very quickly, and they scale with splash damage, tanks and Colossus and things like that, because, well, the more units, the more shots you can apply at any given time, the more damage you find. So the hallucinated warp prism is well, actually, I don't know that herO should know that took a little bit more damage than it normally would, but maybe I think the goal of that was to just keep herO kind of a little bit scared at home. Like, oh yeah, I got a warp prism. Oh, you forced me away. Good job. You should stay home though, because I got a warp prism. Meanwhile, Colossus on the way, extended thermal lance on the way. And this timing coming out of herO right now, it's actually, we talked about the +1 stim timing. It's not going to be that. This is actually kind of cool. It's going to be a +1, or excuse me, a 1/1 stim combat shield concussive shell timing. So herO at this 6 to 7 minute window, the big benefit he's going to have is he's going to have 1 extra upgrade on the Protoss player, which is pretty cool. You know, that's not something we see all that often. And for now, +1 armor, 10 seconds from completion, +1 attack from herO. It's a little bit longer. I'm assuming he's chronoing it out. Let's take a look. No, he's not. And actually not chronoing extended thermal lance as well. But anyway, +1. 20 seconds out, maybe a little bit longer than that. This army from herO is knocking on the doorstep right now. 1/1 done. Combat shields done. Concussive shells done as well here. herO just wants to shove this. He wants to shove his way into the 3rd base, but there is a Colossus out right now. Stalkers blink forward, half damage on the medevac. And between the Colossus and the sentries and the shield battery, I don't know that here's going to be able to shove through this timing, even as he's got 1/1, even as having that armor upgrade makes his units take a little bit less damage. I just don't think it's going to be enough. Now, for now, well, Stalker takes damage, doesn't fall down, and +1's now done. Extended thermal lance now done here. herO up 10 workers, and again, his 3rd base, unlike last game, his 3rd base is much faster than the Terrans. So here, it's not looking all that great for our Korean Terran. He went for this timing. He went for this committed push, and it didn't really work out for him. And now here comes herO. He wants to find value on the map. Now, his Stalkers are lagging behind, so he can't snipe the Warp Prism as much, or the... Oh, those are great force fields. Yeah, he had to spend 3 of them, but that's a decent amount of bio falling down here. Now, herO couldn't get the medevacs. That's unfortunate, but he's got 2 Colossus done. 3rd on the way. And that is 20 army supply out of Cure, sitting its way onto the other side of the map. Stalkers, I think they might just get this third with +1 Colossus to provide high ground vision. The third base, at the very least, is gonna burrow and it's gonna burn. And now those force fields, they're trapping them in. But, well, for now, medevacs are gonna be able to keep things alive. Now, recall on the other side. Random cannon forces this back. And, well, herO, he did, okay, those are Stalkers. herO is batting down the hatches. He's finding value. And I think he loses this fourth. That's gonna have to get canceled. But herO is playing, well, Stalkers probably shouldn't have died to those Widow Mines, but regardless, herO is playing this so much better. herO is playing this tremendously better than what we saw in, well, really pretty much any other game in this series. This is now the fourth base goes down once again, but herO wants to push. He senses opportunity. He's going to sense weakness. +2 is going to be done pretty soon, and there we go. He's going to outblink at that Widow Mine. Can herO push through though? That is really the big question here. One Widow Mine. There's no observers. That's a bit of a problem. And I guess herO is actually going to wait for his disruptor count to increase or something. I felt like he probably could have. Oh, look at that catch! 20 army supply down. Yeah, now herO can push. Absolutely, he can push. But I was going to say it feels like herO could have pushed anyways. But now he's got +2. Now he's got disruptors on the field here. He's equal on army supply to Cure near enough. He's in a great spot. He really and truly is. Now Stalkers blink backwards. Widow Mine doesn't go off. Disruptor's gonna kill the one. What angle do you want to take here, herO? Can you shove forward? That is the really big question. But for now, I guess he's just gonna fish for disruptors. Now that he's on 4 bases, I would love to see double Forge, I think. But he's going double Robo. Now we're going to see, okay, more Widow Mines go down. Stalkers blink out of most of the damage there. And now here come Disruptors. And this position here, now Disruptor on the right side. It's a decent shot, but the Disruptor will fall in the exchange. And, I mean, herO's taking this kiting out battle. It's a little awkward. Five probes go down on the other side here as well. But herO now up in army supply here, moving forward. Colossus really aren't in the best position. Vikings have found a great one. So one Colossus goes down, but Vikings will fall. 1, 2, 3 of them. Stalkers blink to the right side here. But herO, his army supply is so good. Another Colossus will go down. But herO, opportunity right now to run forward. More Widow Mines will go down. Stalkers, they blink forward. herO, he thinks this is his timing. Now SCVs are going to have to get pulled. And this now, come hell or high water, is herO's timing. Is herO's shot to move into the round of 4. 20 workers go down. And herO, he's going to take this best of 5 with flying colors. First 4 games were kind of rough, but herO now in this 5th and final one doesn't take any damage from Cure's aggression, gets the timing that he needs. And herO now, round of 4 in the KSL Summer Slam.